It's been 10 years in the making, and it's finally here, the very first Encyclopaedia of Music in Ireland. With contributions from 240 writers, it contains over 2,000 entries from A Woman's Heart to Zosimus and from Aslan to Oscar Wilde. Even Westlife make the list. RT10 is here in the beautiful surroundings of the National Concert Hall in Dublin to meet the general editors of this beautiful book, which is published by UCD Press, Professors of Music Harry White and Barra Boydell. I started by asking the professors, was this labour of love also a bit of a struggle?
Well, it was a labour of love rather than a struggle, I think. It's probably the safest way to describe it. But genuinely, I mean, the thing that's most striking about the journey to this beautiful slipcase and the two volumes is the degree of collaboration and cooperation between people. And it is true that I had somehow formed the idea of this encyclopedia as long as 25 years ago, but the actual process by which it happened was only in the last decade.
Tell me about the vision you had. I believe it was when you were studying in Canada all that time ago. Tell me about that original vision.
Sure. Back in the early 80s, the idea that music would register on, for want of a better word, the intellectual consciousness of people in Ireland to that extent just hadn't occurred to anybody. And I thought very simply, if we could do something similar at some time, what a great idea that would be, that you could actually somehow chart or map as far back as you could go the actual felt life of music in Ireland.
And also the fact that, as you were suggesting there, that this encyclopedia could not have been brought together until it has now over the last 10 years, because at that time in 1982, the word musicology,
that's right,
the study of music, was, I think it's fair to say, unknown in this country. I had just completed my PhD the previous year, and I think I'm the third or fourth PhD in a musicological topic in Ireland ever in 1982. Now, nowadays, how many do we have every year? A large number, double figures.
This encyclopedia really is a work of art in itself, and it's sure to cause some debate. You two, for example, get 1 page, whereas composer Gerard Victory gets 3. So was there much debate between Barra and Harry as to what to leave in and what to leave out?
The whole process of commissioning the articles in EMER, as we call it,
yes,
because of the abbreviations and so on, took about 2 years. And there was a great deal of debate. There really was very little decided disagreement between us, but there was a great deal of debate. And of course, it's very important to point out that we were heading up this wonderfully talented editorial board of subject editors, and those individuals had a huge part in augmenting and refining the list of headwords that finally ended up in EMER.
It may be more Caroline than Aslan, but over its 1,145 pages, the Encyclopedia of Music in Ireland really does go from A to Z, from the Abbey Theatre to Zerezi. The final word goes to Professor Barra Boydell, who along with Professor Harry White is one of the proud fathers of this most beautiful book.
I have, for example, open here the beginning of the section on the letter R. And the first article is a short article on the 1970s punk band, the Radiators from Space. Then we have a substantial article on the radio broadcasting and Irish traditional music. We move beyond that to articles on Radio Luxembourg, Radio na Gaeltachta, and then we come to the Ranelagh Gardens, which were a very important venue for music making in 18th century Dublin, followed by an article on the Belfast-born musicologist and now professor of music at Cambridge University, Susan Rankin, and so forth. We go through this extraordinary juxtaposition. The very next article after that on Professor Rankin is on rap. So there's something there for everybody, and I really recommend it to anybody with any interest with an interest in any aspect of Irish music.